Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Martina and this is Rosa Lee. And Rosa Lee is my latest journal and she is very feminine, very romantic, and she has roses all over, roses in all shapes and form. And some of you might remember this old song, I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. Well, I do promise you a rose garden because Rosa Lee is a rose garden. Okay, but anyway, let's just dive into it. And when I say dive, then I have to admit that I was really getting lost in all the details and all the things and the little things here and the little things there. And because of that, I would be really interested from you to hear from you if there is anything in this journal which you like especially well. Please, if so, write it down in the comments and let me know. And also, if you have questions about how I did things, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions. And of course, if you like what you saw, leave me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe. So, having said that, this is Rosa Lee. Rosa Lee measures 18.5 centimeters times 12 centimeters, and she has a 6 centimeter spine. Inches, 7¼ times 4¾ and times 2½ inch. Well, you see the roses already. And what you also see probably is, I mentioned it, I got lost in details and I got lost in decorating. So first of all, I have used this really pretty cotton fabric which roses all over, but it was a little bit too vibrant for my taste, so I coffee dyed it. Therefore, it got this little more vintage or shabby look. And then I added this ruffle. I added this lace, this little butterfly. This is sewn on. I added several layers of lace, as I usually do. And then I recently found on YouTube a video showing how to make embroidered roses. And this is what I did. And I did 3 of them. 2 of them do also have some Swarovski beads. And then I also added my crocheted leaves. I couldn't stop. I added 4 cotton buttons here and this sari silk bow in this perfect pink. And of course there is also a doily, and this doily I have sewn on in a way that it forms a pocket, so if there is anything you would like to put in here, you can do. And when I say you know what comes now. This one is available in my Etsy shop, so have a look and maybe you find something you like. I show you the back because then you can see the fabric in its full beauty. Isn't this wonderful? Isn't this nice? I just added this pocket which I formed from some sari silk, sari trim, because I thought the flowers over here, they are so well in tune with this wonderful rose fabric over there. And then of course, some of you do know I love peacocks, and peacocks do belong in my journals. This is a peacock. And then I could have left the spine uncovered. But then something jumped on me out of my stash, and this was this wonderful Indian trim. I added it on, and I think it gives another bling, another splash, another, I don't know, I wanted to have it on. I hope you do like it too. I have closed Rosa Lee, not with a bow as I sometimes do or very often do with my journals. I have closed her with a trim, showing some romantic motifs and using some push buttons over there, sewn on. And also for further decoration I have added this vintage button which is light, so it looks like metal, it's not. And this is good because otherwise it would have drawn it down. So, and now you see what comes now. You see it, she opens very, very strongly. And this is because she has more than 160 pages front and back and a lot of decoration. And as I said, I have used a variety of different techniques, and therefore I'd really like to know from you if there is anything you like especially well. So please write it down in the comments if you wish. What I also like is when you look at Rosa Lee in this opening, you see the lace also from this side. I think this is so opulent, really nice, and this stems from a t-shirt, so junk. Well, my journals are not no true junk journals, I admit, and I've never intended to do true junk journals, but a little bit of junk is included. So let's start with this left-hand side. You saw the bow. I opened the bow and you see this is an envelope, which I have further decorated with obviously lace and this die cut. And here some more decoration. You can open it obviously, and inside there is a bigger journaling card and also having some rose motifs. So this can go back and you can flip this. And what you see here on this page is you see this pocket, and this pocket I have formed from the Franken paper, which I recently did and which I showed in my last video. And I love it because it's so colorful. It has this old paper and it also has some gold accents, and therefore I thought it's very nice in here because it's very well in tune with this wonderful rose paper. And inside I have added a bookmark. What you are also going to see in this journal is some of the happy mails which I received from my crafty friends around the globe. And this is such a wonderful thing that this amazing hobby does connect people across the globe. It's really, really something which I enjoy so much. And thank you very much to all my crafty friends, to Sarah, to Tracy, and of course also to May, who have given me some things, or many things, and some of them you are going to see in this journal. Starting with this wonderful motif, which comes from Sarah, and this is also available in her digital kits. I love this, I think it's a Japanese vase, and of course it has this wonderful rose motifs. Came in perfectly handy at the right moment in time. Also very handy, something which I received from Tracy just some weeks ago, is this wonderful card, which also has this pretty rose motifs. I further decorated it with this die cut, added some lace, and also from the back side I formed a pocket, and there is this little bookmark, which also has a poem related to roses. I don't read it to you now because it takes too much time. And then also this digital paper, and also on this side I have added this ex libris, which, guess what, also shows some roses. I have also used parts of the coffee dyed fabric which formed the cover of this journal to further decorate some pages, and this is here, for instance. You can see that I have just glued it on, and there is also this vintage lace which is really nice and has a nice touch. And then of course my Victorian motifs, which I love. I love this digital kit, and I use it in almost every of my journals because they are so romantic, and apparently I'm a romantic girl. So we have 5 signatures, just by the way, and we are going to start now with the first. And you can see this is also a flip. This is a Stamperia card, and behind it a pocket, and in this pocket there are several journaling cards and a longer one as well. Sitting in a rose pocket on this page, some rose vellum. Thank you, Tracy. perfectly matching this whole journal, this journal, and again some snippets which I find in this journal. I did some stamping here. This is the collector cards, which are about 80 years old. And this is not a rose, obviously, but I have some of them I have put in this journal because I love the motifs so much. and I'm always amazed about the quality of this 80 year old or even more year old pictures. And inside there is just a little tag. Almost all of the pages are coffee dyed, and some of them are also coffee stenciled, and this is one of those. I have added some cotton trim in pink, Franken paper again, put it a little bit higher. You can see I not only glued down different paper, but I also have sewn, and I also used some modeling paste and also some colors in order to make this effect. A nice journaling card, coffee stenciled paper on the opposite side. This here is very special because this stems from a book. I think it's from the 1940s or so, and this was also in a happy mail from Sarah, and this is, you don't see it here, but you will see it when we go on. It's in a Celtic language. It's in Welsh, and this is very rare, I guess, at least in my place of the world. So this is very special, and I love also the touch of it. And I didn't coffee dye it, so it was exactly like that. What I did here is I have formed a little booklet with some coffee dyed and coffee stenciled and color dyed paper which I made, and it sits in this pocket here. And from the back side I have glued down some wallpaper, also with some little rosebuds, and here some stenciling. On the right side I have decorated an envelope which I recently received using my rice paper, laces, different other paper, adding some decoration over here, and inside there is another, oops, turned on the other side, there's another of these Victorian cards with an angel, Cupido. And what you see here is, this is an antique picture. It stems from the Töchteralbum. Töchteralbum is a whole series of annual editions of books which were supposed to help in the education of daughters. And I think they started in the 1880s, 1870s, and this is one of those pictures which were included in this book. And the colors are perfect, aren't they? And here again you see the decoration which I've mentioned before, also here from this cotton fabric. You can open it like this, and this is a longer digital, and you can open it like this, and it really shows a wonderful rose bouquet. And I did some stenciling on the back side because I didn't want to leave it plain white. Here I did some stamping, and this is some Japanese paper. I love the colors. And here I did some stamping as well. And again, you see, this is a ruffle from this cotton fabric. Coffee dyed paper. This is this Welsh paper, or the paper from the Welsh book. A little flip out, and inside another tag with some roses. Coffee dyed paper or coffee stenciled paper. I also have used some laces which show rose motifs, like this one. It formed a pocket here, and inside this pocket there is a collaged tag which I did using different material, paper, mainly paper, old book pages, but also lace and this die cut. Lace on the edge. On the back side, this is a pocket formed from wallpaper with this really pretty trim. I love this trim. And inside there is a vine label, which also came from Sarah, and I had to cut it down a little bit because it was a little bit too wide for this pocket. Stenciled, vellum, and this is another journaling card. This time without roses, but still pretty, I guess. So here I did some rose stenciling, and you see this rose card. Now we come to the second signature, and the second signature starts with 2 birds and a rose motif, and it has pretty lace on the edge. The inside is backed with some gift wrapping paper, which has really wonderful roses, also with some gold decoration, and inside the side pocket I have just attached a little peacock paper. This is also gift wrapping paper, and I love it. It has this bookshelf motif, and it says here Hans Andersen Fairy Tales, and you know my name is Magnolia Fairy Tale, and therefore I thought this is a perfect match here. Rose paper, specially cut, pink paper, on the opposite side another rose tag sitting in this nice pocket, and here I did some decoupage using a napkin and also some glitter. Another pretty rose paper, rose tag. This is a collaged page with some fabric, some paper, some lace, some cheesecloth, and inside there is this little person, little angel, offering a flower bouquet with roses. Yes, I also did add quite some antique book pages from the various poem books which I have in my stash. And this one I love because it says, "To the loved one, an die Geliebte." And this is also on the opposite side, it's also a romantic poem. It says, "Mir ist, als müsstest du empfinden." I think you should feel. So I don't read it because it's long. And this is also some nice gift wrapping paper, cotton lace. Here we are in a more, when you look at the page like this, you see this pink here, which goes into a light violet. You see this decoupage from a napkin, which is light pink, and you see this decoration over here. And therefore I decided to decorate this page with this violet roses, and also attach this violet butterfly. And when you flip it, then you see 2 violet collector cards. No roses, as you can see, but still very pretty, I guess. Roses, rose stamped on old book paper. This is from the Victorian Household Catalogue. In the center spot I did some stenciling, this in pink and green, and here I did this decoration from just crumbled paper, very light paper, which I crumbled, I glued, I added distress oxide or distress ink, and then I also added gold. And I love it. I love this effect, and it also has a nice touch. On the back side it's slightly stamped. Another rose pocket, and inside just a few journaling cards and a little bit of this really pretty Japanese paper. You see here the decoupaging, which you have seen on the other page already. And here I added the old doily on this Stamperia paper, and then I also attached 2 journaling cards in this transparent pocket. I love to use this fabric whenever I want to have the background being visible. So I use this one here. And this is again this old antique book page. It's from 1880 or 1890. Very nice. And this is Summer Night. So this is another rose bouquet. And what you don't see here, well, you see this is a, I don't know how you call this when you do sewing and you want to protect your fingers. So this is this one. And I've glued it down on wallpaper. And when you tear this here, when you can tear on this, then you see it also has a decoration of wallpaper and this little die cut over there. Again, the collector pictures, and I formed a pocket, and inside this pocket there is this angel card. You can put it back like that. And here, this is also from an antique book. It's the Lieder from Mirza Shafi, and well, I mentioned it in some of my other videos. The types are so little, so small, it's very difficult to read. But I can tell you that the headline of this poem reads Roses and Thorns, Rosen und Dornen. And I thought, yeah, well, it has to be here. And therefore I put it in here, like this. So this is another decoupage. This is a little bit stenciling. Well, sewing, of course. This is this old book paper, not old book paper, this is this gift wrapping paper showing a bookshelf, and this is the gift wrapping paper showing the roses. Now we come to the third signature, and the third signature starts with this really, really lovely robin sitting on a branch and looking into the trees of the flowers of roses. Isn't this wonderful? And it has this Victorian vibe, and therefore I added this gold ruffle over here, and I also added this very old lace. Just have a little bit left of it, and I love it. It's so fine, it's so delicate. So you can flip it. The inside is backed with old music paper. Another rose card, which I have also backed with old paper from the back side. Another rose paper. Another rose lace. This is obviously the wonderful coffee dyed paper from May, also showing roses, by the way. Here is another, well, roses all over. This is another rose, my self-made rice paper from a napkin. Just some trim. This is wallpaper. And inside I have added a few more of these collector cards. And they are from a different origin, but they are equally old, I guess. And this is the development of women dresses, and it dates to 1845. So this is the scenery, the scene which is shown, and this is another card showing some roses. Paper bag, coffee dyed and color dyed, and inside two tags which I created from decoupaging and yeah, gold flaking and embossing and also varnishing, sitting here. Another of these old or antique pictures from this antique book, Töchteralbum. Love it. I love the colors and I love this the image. On the back side, sitting in a lace pocket, two tags with roses. Stamping. In the center spot, well, I have added the peacock decoupaged, and I've decoupaged also this decoration on the edge, and I have also added as a decoration of the threads which I used to sew in the signature, I have added a charm in a rose shape. So, in this paper bag some more lace, rose card and angel card. I think they fit perfectly well together. And here you can see May's coffee dyed paper, and you can see the motif, the roses. Another rose card here, you can open it here, and then there's a rose circle, and in this rose circle 2 tags. And here there is another wonderful lace, which I have used to form a pocket, a side pocket. It's so nice. And in this side pocket another angel card. Yeah, it was really nice to do that. Number 4. So this is Indian trim in gold, and this is some teal colored cotton lace, which nicely matches here. This is wallpaper again, and I've cut it in shape so that it nicely forms this, orients your view to this really pretty lace, which I have used here, a lace in a pretty rose shape. And on the back side, Franken paper and another journaling card. Embossed rose, which I also have distressed and also added some gold in order to make the shape even more prominent, the embossing. Some special paper, some stenciling. This is just attached here. It's a rose. It's roses in a teacup, sitting on wallpaper and being decorated with some coffee dyed lace. On the opposite side, side pocket, some journaling card, decoration here. This is an old Dutch book where I have used gesso on one side so that it can be used for writing. And I say it, I think in all of my journals, that I try to make my journals in a way that they are heavily decorated, but not so much that you don't find space to write or place to write. So there is always enough room for writing. So it really leaves enough possibilities, enough opportunities for creativity for the future owner or for journaling, so whatever she wants to do. This is my self-dyed paper with coffee and colors. Here I have formed another belly band. I have made a belly band from a rose trim lace, and this is a rose card, and these are 2 Victorian ladies, because I thought Victorian ladies should be in my journal, should be in this journal. Old music paper. And I did also another decoupaging in the center, and this is an angel napkin, and I think you can probably see it. 2 angels, and I've also added some glitter. This is and then I just recently came across, I think it was in Kathy's Garden, that's the name of the YouTube channel. She showed some decoration for the edges of a journal. And I got inspired and I used my scraps, and I've sewn them on, and I've added also some paper here, and I put it on old music paper, and I love it. I love it. I think it looks so opulent. It looks so pretty. And yeah, what do you think? What do you think about that? I'm really in love. So this is the gesso side. This is another decoupage. This is again Franken paper. And this is just some special paper, which is a little bit embossed. It has a little bit of glitter. And it shows roses. Guess what? So this is also embossed. And this time I have not colored it, so I left it plain white. Stamping. So this is another piece of paper which I have not backed. This is one of the few. And here I found in my stash this collage which I did some time ago. This was just a little bit what was left, and I thought it perfectly matches here. This red and this red, and also the laces, so I have added it here as further decoration. Yeah, we are almost at the end. This is the 5th signature. It starts with a rose. It ends, the number 4 ends with a rose. Number 5 starts with a rose. When you turn it, you have another one. This one here. Then you have another of these pretty Victorian pages. And this one can be flipped. And then you have another of this really pretty miniature poems from the leader from Mirza Shafi, Antique, and it's also a poem about a bud, a beautiful bud. So, oops, I have to put it up. So, here I did some glitter. I made some stenciling with this big rose motif, some flower lace. Again, this wonderful gift wrapping paper as a side pocket. Looks great, isn't it? I have distressed it here with this Victorian velvet distress color, and it really looks pretty. And here is just a journaling card which I created. Well, I just glued down another digital on this design paper, so, well, created. And this is, again, coffee stenciled. This is a wonderful fabric which I have been given by Tracy, and you are going to see more of it because I have used it already for another journal which is in the making. And yeah, so I used it to make a ruffle and add it here. Another Franken paper, another stenciling, another self-created tag, and another Welsh paper. It's so fine. I really love it. So it got wet apparently, and therefore it has this all these marks and signs, so it's pretty. And here it's old music paper, as you can see. Another collaged tag which I did with different material. I love this fringes. Self-dyed paper, a little piece of fabric which is embroidered. I think I also got it from Tracy. And this is another journaling card, as you can see. Another wonderful poem, and I also love the picture. Well, unfortunately it's in the center, so you cannot really see it clearly enough, I assume, but it's a very romantic poem, and it also stems from an antique book. This is the opposite side of this embroidered fabric. Some fabric which I added here. You can flip it like that. Then you see another of these Victorian cards. This is this Welsh paper. I really love to touch it. This is paper from May, which I have stamped on the back side, so you can use it for writing here. And when you flip it, you have this wonderful picture. What I did here is I have just made a little kind of an envelope using wallpaper, and I added some pink, 2 pieces of pink paper strips, so you can use it for writing. And I put it in here because I think this motif and this motif perfectly go together. Now we are almost at the end, and towards the end there is a secret compartment. Because what you can do is you can open this, it has velcros, and here you have the possibility to hide something. And in this case what I hid there is some old saving books from, I think from the 40s, 1940s something, and it has been, something had been changed in 1950, so maybe 50. So 58 it says. 58. No, that's not the same. I don't know. Anyway, so it's quite old, and it sits here in this secret compartment. Yeah, you would do it like this, then you can see the inside of the last signature. And there's another pocket, another snippet and another bookmark. I love them. I have used them already. I love it. Sitting here. And this was Rosa Lee. Rosa Lee is a little cutie, I guess. Well, she has roses all over, and it's really for those of you who are romantic, who love roses, who love a little bit more feminine vibes. And, well, if you want her, have a look in my Etsy shop. I thank you very much for watching. It was a pleasure, as usual. I hope you could stay the whole time. I know I talk a bit, but I love to talk about the things I do. And so I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much. This was Martina. Bye-bye.